welcome to Monday, June 21st, 2021. You already know. Of the SoReal Sports Podcast with your host, the CEO/owner, SoReal Studios LLC, Lamar Segment, and my partner in crime all the time, Reggie Walker. What's going on, man?
Oh, man. Oh, this weekend was something else, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. I did not see a lot of things coming, but it was pretty interesting.
It was pretty god awful, man.
Yeah.
So besides that, how was your weekend?
It happened, so it is what it is.
Yeah. So besides that, how was your weekend though?
Weekend was the traditional weekend. Of course, you know, I had to work. Even worked on Father's Day. Did get off around 3-ish your time. Made it home. Opened my gifts. Gifts were wonderful. Exactly what I could have expected and wanted. It was a few things that I didn't really expect that I ended up getting, and some other things that I did want that I ended up getting myself. But that's neither here or there. My wife threw down an amazing meal. We did I can't say it's a dry seafood boil, but basically a seafood boil consisting with, of course, you know, the shrimp, the crab legs, sausage, potatoes. I didn't want any corn. I'm trying to steer myself away from corn, so didn't include any corn, but it was all done in the oven, and it actually came out just as good as if it were in a pot. So I think she likes it more in the oven. So we'll try it out again, see how it goes. But yeah, it was amazing, man. My kids called, I talked to all of them individually. You know, they were my mom back in Mississippi. So yeah, it was pretty good. Like I said, that made my day. It was, you know, kind of upsetting that I don't have the two men that raised me in my life, but I'm pretty sure that they're proud of everything that I've accomplished and looking forward. I just look to that to say, you know, I'm not finished. Like, there's still a lot of growth in me, and I know I can probably never live up to be half of what they were, but I'm trying, man. What about you? How was your weekend?
It was great. I really enjoyed my weekend. Like, I was able to spend time with my son. That was mainly the main thing I wanted to do. Turns out that I need to find another lawnmower. I tried the electric lawnmower. Shit's trash. Electric lawnmowers are straight trash. It takes me to charge up my battery 3 times for me to mow up my front backyard, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I didn't like those when they first came out. I'm more of a self-propelled guy, so
I'm really gonna make changes on that. But besides that, my Father's Day was pretty great. My wife ended up giving me a lot more than what I expected, a lot more than what I asked for, which was pretty much nothing. I never asked anything, but she does it anyway by the kindness of her heart. She fixed me breakfast and then made an amazing dinner also. And she bought me some clothes and gave me some money. I was like, wow. Oh yeah, this drink too. This glass.
is that a mermaid? Oh no, it says LA. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're a hater. Anyway, yeah, besides that and how terrible all these sports games and matches went, it was a pretty good weekend. Now I'm getting prepared for this upcoming week in which we're having another family trip. This time it's with the in-laws. So got to get prepared for that, which you already know you'll be having to take over on Friday. You might not have to because I might can make a appearance via my cell phone. So we'll see about that.
We will see. Either way it goes, it still will be a good Muscle Shirt Friday.
Yes, it will. All right. Now, let's talk about what happened this weekend. Since we already done talked bad about it, let's just let them know exactly what went wrong. Starting off in the UFC. We had 6 matches. All 6 of them did happen. Let's start off with the first one. Matt Brown. Let me change it up. There we go. Matt Brown. He took on Diego Lima. We both picked Diego Lima, right?
Yeah.
Lost. Matt Brown, second round knockout. 0-1.
Yeah. That knockout came out of nowhere. It did. I'm looking at it. I saw the initial hit, but it looked like more of a graze, like he grazed him. Mm-hmm. And then it was from a fucking jab. Like you got knocked clean out by it. That lets me know that your jaw is terrible.
Your jaw, you don't have it. Your jaw is made out of glass. Softer than this glass right here.
I'm so glad that you said that the LA Rams glass is soft.
No, it's softer than this glass though.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the Rams. Rams, this is probably the hardest glass in the league, to be honest with you.
Drop it right now.
No, because I love my glass. As a matter of fact, if I did drop it, I got to back up anyway. So, all right, on to the next fight between Wellington Turman and Bruno Silva. We both picked Wellington, right?
Yeah, that was a last second decision for me because I actually had Silva. And then I said I put an X by it and went ahead and circled Turman. Worst decision of my life.
Yeah, it is because Silva, first round knockout. Man, 0-2.
Yep.
0-2. Sorry. Let's just move on to the next one between Julian Erosa taking on Sungwoo Choi. This was a shot bet, and I had me some nice Chinese food that night because Sungwoo Choi was my entree, and he got the win, first round knockout.
And I will be drinking Avion this time instead of my traditional Jose for this loss. That was actually very good on Father's Day, might I add. So this is my shot for that. And this is the only one that we disagreed upon. So
yeah, this is the only one out of 6.
So this is for Sungwoo Choi. Choi?
Yep.
Choi, yeah. All right. He is a bad man. He came out on fire and did not let up. I like to see that in fighters.
He really didn't. He didn't let up for nothing. All right. Move on to the next fight between Marlon Vera and Davey Grant, in which Vera did win by unanimous decision. Now, this fight right here, I gotta take my hat off to Davey Grant because for him to survive out of all that, he was, man, I thought he been got choked out. I think it was like under a minute left in the 3rd round. And this man just
right there.
He kept battling. He said, I know I'm gonna lose, but I ain't gonna lose by tapping out. So my hat's off to him, man.
Yep.
My hat's off to him. And that's our first win together, which is strange. Hopefully we can get a streak going. All right. Next one between Aleksei Oleinik taking on Sergey Spivak. We both picked Spivak, right?
We did, because I finally sided with you as far as giving these old veterans a chance. Now, this is not going to be my last time picking not picking a veteran, but over the next few fights, it's definitely not going that way.
Oh, okay. Because Spivak won by unanimous decision. I don't even think it was close.
It wasn't at all.
All right, last but not least.
Now I will add this. Olenek did, like, his power is amazing. He still
got that.
Had he connected more so than he missed, it would have went another way.
That's the problem. He ain't connected.
That's the problem. Being
that old, it's gonna be harder for you to have to connect against these young boxers.
Yeah,
because they more experience into knowing how to box. Back in his day, MMA was just coming out. UFC was just coming out.
Yeah.
But now, I guess they call it evolution. I don't know. I don't believe in that little evolution bullshit. But yeah, they know more. They know better. Pretty much, they know better.
Yeah.
All right. Last bout of the night was between Chun Sung Jung taking on Dan Iggy. And we both picked Iggy, right?
Yes, we did, unfortunately.
Chun Sung Jung won by unanimous decision.
Good thing about it is that you still had Chinese that night, so either way, you still won.
Right. I should have ate. See, I did. See, Chinese food gets you full, and then you get right back hungry. It keeps you full just for a little bit. I should have just ordered some more Chinese food. But now, I wanted big booty Iggy. Pause. I'm talking about the female Iggy Azalea. But, yeah, lost.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
All right. That'll do it for UFC.
So this week, we stunk in UFC.
Yeah, we was terrible. I think I went 2.
Yeah.
I went 3-3.
Yeah, I went 2-4.
Yeah, 2-4 because that matchup.
Yeah.
We gotta do better. It's all right. Let's go to the NBA. Ooh, it was some strange stuff going on in the NBA. Let's talk about the first one. Game 6 between the Utah Jazz and the LA Clippers. Reggie, you picked Utah because they were gonna force a game 7. I picked the Clippers because I just wanted the Clippers to make it. Clippers won 131-119. Damn, Utah.
Yep.
You let this one slide.
It was all because of that second-year guy, man.
Terrence Mann.
That man, what did he end up with, 39 or something like that?
39 points. I think he hit 7 threes, 7 or 8. He balled out.
It's crazy.
But the only reason why he balled out is because the reigning defensive player of the year was guarding him and never went up there to the three-point line to stop him from hitting corner 3.
Never did. Gave him the space.
He gave him absolutely a wide open shot every time.
Yep. And hands down, man down.
I mean, this is the NBA. They can hit open shots.
Yeah.
Unless you're Joe Harris. Speaking of Joe Harris, let's talk about the Bucks versus the Nets.
Great transition.
The Bucks versus the Nets, game 7, in which we both picked the Nets. And I actually went on extra and said that Joe Harris would score 20-plus points.
Yes.
So,
and might I add that when I went by the casino on Saturday to put in my bets for that game, or for just a random parlay anyway, I started thinking about it. You know what? Joe Harris hasn't showed his face in this whole series. Maybe this will be the game. And all he had to do was score 13 and a half. Ended up with 10. Ruined my whole parlay.
Oh, you did a players parlay?
Yeah, well, I did a regular game parlay and I just slid that one in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a little faith in him, but as did you. But my faith was he'll at least score 14 points. And at the end of the third, he had 10. So I'm like, okay, all right, he can hit a 3. The man was cold as hell from 3-point line. He never drove. Nothing. He was just a decoy on the floor. He got some nice rebounds. That's about it.
Yeah, and for that, I'm gonna take a shot. Oh yeah, the Nets end up losing in overtime, 115 to 111. They are eliminated. This is for being stupid and picking Joe Harris to actually score 24.
Also, this was not Kevin Durant's fault.
No, it's not. And we'll talk more about that. Now, we can discuss it a little bit right now. I don't think we're going to talk more about it. Yeah, we are. We'll just wait.
Yeah, I'm going to say, let's knock everything out.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. All right, let's go to another game 7 between the Atlanta Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers, in which you picked the Hawks, I picked the 76ers. Hawks won 103 to 96. 76ers are eliminated. And Reggie, the Hawks are in the Eastern Conference Finals. An Atlanta team has made it to a conference finals yet again. Last team to do it was my Atlanta Braves. We went to the National League, pretty much conference final.
Yeah.
So let's check and see what they do against the Bucks.
I honestly believe that they are going to run through the Bucks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I say run through, I don't mean like sweep, but it'll be handled in at the most 6.
Wow.
At the most. But I'm thinking 5.
You ain't that. I mean, you and a very few are picking the Hawks.
Yeah. I mean, they'll lose it all, but just because Georgia's cursed. But I think that, first of all, Milwaukee tired. They are tired. Second of all,
even though they are getting a 3-day game, 3 days off, because they don't play until tomorrow.
Finally, they get some rest.
Or they play Wednesday.
No, they play Wednesday.
They play Wednesday. It's the Clippers game 2 tomorrow.
Right.
Okay. So, speaking of the Clippers took on the Suns game 1. Me and Reggie did make a prediction on Reggie's Facebook page. We both picked the Suns. Suns end up winning 121-14. So we did make a bet on that. I mean, not a bet, but a prediction on that before the actual game happened. Really 2 days before it actually happened. So we was prepared for that. And we had to cancel game 7 of the Jazz Clippers because the Jazz did not win game 6. So let's move on to baseball. Now, baseball, we did pretty good. I actually was kind of happy with baseball.
It was more hit or miss for me.
Well, we shall see. All right, first one between the A's and the Yankees. We both picked the A's 2-1. Yankees found the way to win one game by, I think they won Sunday, in which I thought the A's would win, in which is crazy to me because they had a runner on first and second with no outs in the top of the ninth. And then they end up hitting into a triple play for the game, which is crazy because that's the second triple play that the Yankees have made this past weekend. Third one this whole season. You know how rare it is to get triple plays? That is rare.
Yeah.
And they did the regular triple play on this one. He grounded to the third baseman. Third baseman touched third, threw it to second, threw it to first. Triple play. I was like, you got to be really slow for that dude to touch third, throw it to second, and then still be able to throw it to first. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was a slow developing play.
Yeah, he was slow. All right, we both lost that. Let's move on to the White Sox versus the cheating ass Astros, in which we did pick the Astros.
Yeah. Just got it wrong.
Huh?
Just got it wrong.
Yeah. You said a tie.
No, I said 3-1. You said a tie.
I said a tie.
Yeah.
So I didn't pick nobody.
But I said I was this close to taking the sweep. I really wanted to, but I said, you know what? They just gonna they'll fuck around and find a way to lose a game. They didn't.
The Bruins was out in Houston.
It was.
They swept them. Speaking of sweep, let's move on to the Cincinnati Reds taking on the San Diego Padres, in which we both picked them to win 3-1. The Padres, they said, fuck y'all, we getting all the games. Another sweep.
Another sweep.
It's in the books. They swept the Reds, and the Reds are really good. The Reds are really good. It just lets you know how good the Padres are.
Right. I felt they was unevenly matched, so. But I didn't see a fucking sweep, though.
I did not see the sweep.
3-1.
I did not see the sweep. All right. On to the next one between the Detroit Tigers and the LA Angels of Anaheim, in which I predicted a 3-1. Reggie got casual and decided he was going to wear a tie.
I did.
3-1 Angels. 3-1 Angels. I got this one absolutely correct. Last but not least, we got the St. Louis Cardinals taking on my Atlanta Braves, in which Reggie kept his suit on and decided he wanted to still have a tie.
Yep.
I did Braves 3-1. Braves 3-1.
Are we not going to mention the postponed game?
I want to mention the postponed game, but it turned into a doubleheader. So
it still ended up in your favor.
Yeah, it ended up in my favor. But let me tell you how bad that the postponed Saturday game ruined. Now, since I have a fantasy league, my fantasy league, you only allowed to pitch 12 pitchers per week. So on Saturday, my opponent, he already pitched 8. And if he pitched 4 more that day, he would have maxed out and he couldn't pitch none on Sunday.
Right.
One of his pitchers was Adam Wainwright, in which he pitched for the Cardinals going up against the Braves. Since that game got postponed to Sunday, it canceled the fact of him having to max out before Sunday, right, in which he was able to pitch Wainwright and 3 more extra people. And it cost me my game. I ended up losing by 40 points.
That's messed up. That is messed up.
And the only win that the Cardinals had, Wainwright was the pitcher, in which he pitched a complete game, one run. And I think he struck out 11 too. So he ended up putting up 26 points by himself.
26 fantasy?
Yes.
Shit.
In only 7 innings. Because you know doubleheaders are only 7 innings per game. So I'm like, this motherfucker, all because of bad weather in Atlanta, I lost. Now I'm 5-6 in the damn season. In my own fantasy. God. Here we are.
Yeah, shit happened, man.
Yeah, shit happened. Hopefully I win this week. All right. Speaking of this week, before we go into this week, we got one more. Hockey. I like hockey. I actually did good at hockey this week. I did good.
Oh, now you like hockey?
Yeah, I did good at hockey this week. So let's talk about it. Game 3 between the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Montreal Canadiens. Reggie, you picked the Golden Knights. I said Canadiens. Canadiens won 3-2 in overtime.
Yep, they pretty much Canadians control the entire game, and overtime as well. Yeah, I guess I was a little too top heavy on Vegas because of what they have done all the way up until this point.
Right.
Canadians got some big guys, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Big boys, like for real. So
they are big,
and they hit.
No homo.
Yeah. Still got Knights in the series.
Yeah, you still got them. You got a chance to have them. Well, let's move on to game 4 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders. We both picked the Islanders game 4. Islanders end up winning by the score 3-2. So we both got that one absolutely correct.
Indeed.
All right. Now, let's talk about game 4 between the Golden Knights and the Montreal Canadiens, in which this time I went with the Golden Knights. And you stuck with the Golden Knights. Golden Knights end up winning this game in overtime by a score of 2-1. So now that series is tied 2-2.
Very interesting right now in hockey. Very interesting.
And tonight's game, in which we got the New York Islanders taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning,
which I'm watching right now. I'm not even sure why.
It's a blowout. Lightning's up 5-0.
3 minutes left in the second.
Yeah, 3 minutes left in the second. So what? We can see the Lightning winning that one. They would take the series lead 3-2. Heading to game 6.
Still a lot of interesting hockey out there to go on both ends.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna be a battle for that cup, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, let's get to our 3-bet challenge.
3-bet. Yes.
3-bet challenge indeed. Start with me. I picked the Nets -1. We already discussed that the Nets lost, so that was an L for me. I did pick Iggy to win.
Another loss.
So that's 2 L's for me. In order to avoid a shot, just personally, I needed the Marlins versus the Cubs to go over 8.5. Got that one. They ended up winning 11-1. So I actually got a dub on that one. Now let's go to yours, Reggie. All right. Reggie, you picked the Mets -1.5. I believe the Mets won that game 5-1.
They did.
That's a win for you. You also picked Marlon Vera to win.
-200.
He won. That's another win for you. And last but not least,
the surprise.
You went WNBA and you picked the Phoenix Mercury to win -4. I believe they won 80-66. So that means Reggie is the winner with a 3-win.
First time done.
First time done. Let's get some clapping going on. Let's get the kids in here. They are enjoying it.
Reggie.
And let's play my sad music. Because I owe 2 shots.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We both make good picks at times. It just doesn't happen the way we always picture it unfolding. But
yeah, you're right. You're right. So I owe 2 shots. Oh, that's a weak shot.
There will always be another Friday.
Yeah, I like this. This is something that I really like. Now, Reggie, did you or did you not do your 3-game parlay with them picks?
Did not. Well, actually, I did. I did.
But you added.
It included 2 of the UFC fights. One was the Diego Lima, and the other was the Dan Iggy.
Oh, Lord. So you won all the ones except for those 2 you wanted to add on.
Yeah, because like when I put them in, it was just like the way the money went up. It was just like, you know what? I feel overly confident. My brother, you also felt confident about the exact same 2 fights. So it was like, it's a no-brainer for me. No. I literally forgot about everything that we talked about Friday night. And by the time I got off Saturday, when I got to the casino, I was like, I hit my wife up and I was like, hey, send me a picture of our picks. And she did, and I made
up. It went off on you. It's 1 shot of 2. Woo. Ugh. God. Tampa Bay Lightning just scored again. 6-0.
It is now 6-0. They have no chance of coming back in one period in 2 minutes.
So can they just give it up?
No, they're gonna play to the finish.
Okay. So ain't no mercy rule.
No, you almost sound like my wife when Alabama is up 63-3 on any opponent that they're playing.
That should be a mercy rule.
Why won't they just cut the game off? No, they gotta learn.
No.
They accepted this.
Beating down Jackson State does not count as people learning.
We have never played Jackson State.
My bad. Hines Community College. He is not learning, okay? What was it? South Alabama? I didn't know Alabama had a South.
Yeah. Not too bad either.
Yeah, because they ended up beating Mississippi State, which is trash.
Yeah. South Carolina not as bad as we thought they were either.
Oh, whatever. All right, this is shot 2 of damn. I'm starting to learn something, Reggie. You know when you're supposed to put grease in your stomach, the drink.
I mean, I don't.
I mean, I thought that's what you're normally supposed to do. So, is there such thing as vegan grease?
No.
Yeah. So I'm taking shots based off the fact that I ate vegan food.
You had some cauliflower ribs?
No. I had a chicken sandwich and some sweet potato fries.
I heard those sweet potato fries aren't that bad. I used to cook them when I was a chef at Shoney's. Like,
you was a chef at Shoney's?
Yeah. I wasn't the head chef. I was right under the head chef at Shoney's. But that was
the tail chef.
Yeah, pretty much, for lack of a better way to put it. But yeah, that was actually before you even knew me, before me and Shay started talking all that. So yeah.
Oh wow. Crazy thing is, that's one of the places that my daddy loved to go to was Shoney's. Because he used to love getting the pulled pork.
Yeah, which I was damn good at cooking too.
He loved the pulled pork.
Yeah.
So I used to get the ribs, but he always got the pulled pork.
Yeah. But they left Jackson a long time ago. That's what.
I don't even think Shoney's open anymore, period.
There is still the one in Clinton, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's still one in Clinton.
I just say when we went to Nashville, it wasn't one. I mean, it had the sign, but it was abandoned.
They had
I was like, they must have got rid of all the Shoney.
No, Shoney's still thriving. A place that you probably wouldn't want to go is to Florida to find them, but like, who wants to go to Florida?
Yeah, I got family in Florida, so I ain't gonna say that.
I mean, me too, but they'll be all right. We can meet on mutual grounds. Like, I don't have to come to Florida.
That's true. All right, so let's get to our topics for today. I took both of my shots, and yes, vegan food does not mix in with liquor pretty good. All right, let's talk about these 76ers, man. Because it's probably a very few people end up picking the Hawks to win this series because they knew that the best player on court was Joel Embiid. And they also had 3 all defensive players. I think they had 1 first team and 2 second teams. Now, 1 first team and 2 second team. So they end up losing to the Hawks in Game 7 at home. Who is to blame for this series loss in your eyes, Rich?
Simmons. Simmons missed a lot of free throws that could have sealed the game for them. Not just that one game, but it would have set the tone for other games. I feel like Simmons' confidence level is not where it needs to be. Not saying that he doesn't know how to shoot a free throw, but just his confidence in if he will make it or not. It's a free throw. It's free. You get ample enough time to take your time just to be able to process everything. It's just that I don't believe his confidence level over the course of his career, which is not long. That's what she said. But his career is not long, and I just don't feel like his confidence level is built up enough. I don't even think he's ever reached the 70 percentile as far as free throw makes. So of course, if your confidence is saying that I only shoot at this level and I'm still accepted, then I'm gonna perform at this level. But you can't do that. You have to strive for better. I don't think he even really fucking cares, and he feels like he can do it outside of that. Although he missed a few dunks end up rattling out. In addition to him missing free throws, you're the one to blame. Embiid is not. Embiid was out there playing hurt. Pretty much pretty much the entire series. So I'm putting the sole blame on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is not what we thought he was. He should not. I'm not gonna say that he shouldn't have been drafted first round, but number one overall, no. He has not lived up to the standard. Even though you praised him, you did. Now, this is what you did. You praised him as far as switching positions and his new role. You praised him for taking on that new role. Mm-hmm. I don't think it helped. So, with that being said, it's Ben Simmons' fault that the 76ers are not in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay. Now, I'm going to spread the blame around. Now, mainly, I put it on Ben Simmons. You're absolutely correct. It's no way that you can go to 4 straight fourth quarters and not even attempt a field goal, let alone make a field goal. You do not end up having a game 7 in which you score 5 points and you're the second best player on the team, supposedly.
Got drafted at number 1.
Huh?
He got drafted at number 1. So he obviously supposed to be the best player. If you got drafted number 1, you got to be the best player on the team.
Right. I agree with that also. But I'm not just going to give total blame to just him. I am going to give a lot more blame to – see, this is the 3 – these are the people that I'm going to blame. I'm going to blame Ben Simmons, of course. I'm going to blame Doc Rivers. And the final person I'm going to blame is the Boston Celtics. Now, here's why. The reason why I am blaming the Boston Celtics is because the fact that it's your fault. The reason why Doc Rivers ended up having so many jobs, and he haven't proven anything in any of these jobs since he left y'all. He took on the coaching job for a team that was built to win a championship. Am I right? You got Paul Pierce. You end up getting a Ray Allen. You end up giving a Kevin Garnett. That team is built to win a championship. He takes you there, you win a championship. Right. You go again and lose to Kobe for another championship. What?
Kobe fired Rondo.
Doc Rivers didn't make adjustments either. And that's the biggest problem with Doc Rivers. He blows big leads in which he does not make adjustments to hold the lead because they end up having a 23-point lead in this series. They end up having an 18-point lead in this series, and they lost both of those games. They played the Hawks. The best player on the court is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid put up his great numbers. You're absolutely right. They end up having leads in many of these games. This series should have went 5 the way I predicted. But Doc Rivers lost his 4th straight game 7. 4 straight. And that's including last year's, in which he lost with the Clippers after blowing an 18-point lead, blowing a 22-point lead, and blowing a 12-point lead in the 4th quarter. You can't say it's the team, because Ty Lue just took that same team to the Western Conference Finals in 6 games against the Utah Jazz. Number 1 seed, by the way, Utah Jazz. And what seed was the 76ers this year? Number one. Number 1 seed 76ers took on a number 5 seed Atlanta Hawks. I'm putting the blame on Doc Rivers. And Doc Rivers wouldn't. Now, don't get me wrong. I love black coaches getting many opportunities.
Not sounding like it.
But you got to have a limit to it. Doc Rivers had plenty of opportunities, and he has not successfully filled those opportunities. He had opportunities with the Clippers before. Failed. He had opportunities with the Clippers some more. Failed. Now he's going to the 76ers, in which the 76ers looked like they was going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals easily. They had the number 1 seed. All they had to play was the 8. Who was the 8 seed? The Wizards?
Yeah, they played in. Yeah.
They played the Wizards. They beat them pretty good. Then they move on to face the Hawks. Nobody thought the Hawks were going to make it this far. Hell, me and you both didn't pick them to make it out the first round.
No, because I expected more out of Julius Randle, to be honest.
That's a good point. But even if they made it to the second round, you still thought that the 76ers shouldn't win.
Yeah, of course. But I did say at the beginning of the season that the Hawks are like they bad. Like
they're a really good team. Don't get me wrong, the Hawks deserve to win this game.
The addition of Clint Capella and how him and Trey communicate is way better than him and James Harden.
Yeah, easily. But Doc Rivers Doc Rivers is turning into the Marvin Lewis of the NBA. He does great in the regular season, terrible in the postseason, and the reason why he's keeping his job because he's still winning regardless. And that's what Doc Rivers is doing. Now, I'm not saying get rid of Doc Rivers.
No, not after 1 year.
Not after 1 year. But what I am saying is, if the organization start making adjustments, including what Daryl Morey is able to do, say, for instance, they trade Ben Simmons for C.J. McCullough. I've been hearing rumors about him being traded to the Blazers for C.J. McCullough, or to Indiana for Malcolm Brogdon. Somebody like that. With the adjustments that they can make, they need to make it to at least a conference finals. Because even though the Nets got eliminated, they going to come back next year healthy, hopefully. And then you still got the Milwaukee Bucks because they still got Giannis. And look at the Hawks.
But with that being said, how many more years is Chris Middleton going to perform at the level that he was performing at?
You can ask that same question about an injury-prone Joel Embiid.
Or we can talk about a non-injury-prone Chris Middleton.
But they did make it to the conference finals. So obviously he did enough.
He did.
But it's just Joel Embiid on the Sixers. And as injury prone as he is, he's not able to make it a long period of time, especially as a big man.
So with that
at the level that he is.
Okay.
He is known to decline, not saying now, but eventually shorter than normal superstars. Because Joel Embiid is a superstar, obviously.
Right.
He's the best big man in the game. But he needs help. And Ben Simmons is definitely not the help.
I can't go as far as to say he the best.
Who's better than him as a big man?
I mean, who won?
Not Giannis. Giannis is not a big. Quit saying Giannis is a big man.
I didn't say that.
Oh,
but
well,
who won Defensive Player of the Year?
Oh, the Joker. Hey, he's healthier than Embiid. That's all I'm gonna give him.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wait. One more.
Who?
I just want to hear it. I just want to hear it. You know what? I don't even want to hear it no more because I know you're gonna say it just to fucking piss me off, and I don't even want to hear it.
I'm not. Oh no, he's not better than Al Horford. Of course, he's not.
Are you crazy?
Not the Celtics returning Celtic.
What I was
going
to say was Mr. COVID himself. That's what I was going to ask you. Was he better?
Oh, hell yeah, he better than him. Just not defensively. He has no offense whatsoever. None.
So there's no balance. There's no balance.
No. Because Embiid can't beat him defensively, but he kills him offensively. That's the difference. He's way better than him offensively than Gobert is better than him defensively. That makes the balance uneven.
Okay.
Because I can handle Embiid just being good defensively compared to Gobert, great defensively. But Embiid is great offensively, and you can't get nothing out of Gobert. Besides putbacks, and that's it. He has no post game. He can't shoot a three, and his free throws is terrible.
This leads me to understand that. This leads me to believe that you think a big man's most potent quality is defense, not offense.
Well, it depends. I like him better as a defensive player. Is a
big man
with a big man, yeah. But in today's game, they can do it all. I mean, you look at Jokic. He can do it all. He can shoot threes.
I don't want to talk about. I want to talk about straight up big man. So Bam Adebayo, straight up big man, right?
Yeah, but he can shoot a jumper. When the last time you see Rudy Gobert shoot a jumper?
From more than how many feet out?
At least by 12.
I haven't.
He's under the goal whenever he shoots.
I haven't.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you praise me for getting Tristan Thompson.
Because Tristan Thompson is great.
Shut up.
And he dated a Kardashian.
Transition. Throw this shit away, man. This is exactly why I don't like talking about basketball with you. Shit.
All right. Let's move on.
And then he getting divorced.
I thought they already was divorced.
Like she just found out he cheated or something like that.
Again?
Yeah, again.
I mean, if he gonna keep cheating, he gonna keep cheating.
This past weekend, like he got caught again. So
I bet it was somebody from Boston. Anyway, let's move on to the other team that got eliminated this past weekend.
Please.
Let's talk,
please, yeah, please.
Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, in which a lot of people believe that the Brooklyn Nets was going to be the champions. They end up not pulling it off. Kyrie ended up getting hurt, out for the series. James Harden had a nicked up. Found out it's a grade 2 hamstring. So that's pretty much a very serious thing. And KD did as much as he could to will his team to win. And it wasn't enough. Even though he did score like 48 points. I think he ended up having 13 rebounds, 5 assists. But it wasn't enough. He shot an air ball in overtime. I don't even think he scored a single point in overtime. So, with all that going on, Reggie, is it fair to expect KD to do the things LeBron did when he dominated in the East?
Is it fair to say that, or is it fair to expect KD to perform on the same level as LeBron?
Yep.
In the East, compared to when LeBron had what team in the East?
He had the Cavs, especially the 2018 Cavs, in which his second best player was Kevin Love, who averaged 10 and 10.
No, that is not fair. KD is a scorer. LeBron is a facilitator. That's the difference. Flat out. There's nothing more to say about that. LeBron shares the ball. When you give KD the ball, KD knows what to do with the ball. LeBron doesn't. LeBron knows what he can do versus KD knowing I'm going to make this shot.
Hold on, Reggie. Because can't hear you.
Shot. Granted that 9 times out of 10, he probably will get stripped because he's so long. So that gives the opportunity for a smaller defender to get in there in close and steal the ball. But no, he's not. First of all, he's not the one to blame for this. Second of all, can he carry the same burden that LeBron did? No, he cannot, because he doesn't have the supporting role that LeBron did. LeBron basically handpicked, and in your words, the 2018 Cavaliers.
Yeah, the 18
had better players than what KD played with. So no, it is completely unfair to say that KD should have the same expectations as LeBron did. Now, I can argue this same fact with a LeBron fan, and they'll go on and on and on about.
Mm-hmm. Well,
was essentially by himself. LeBron made the team around him. He handpicked, got rid of Jordan Clarkson. How essential would Jordan Clarkson would have been with LeBron then versus KD with who was the best player with KD on the floor yesterday?
Harden.
A second grade hamstring Harden. So
Joe Harris,
who did not score what you thought 20 points, what I thought 13 and a half.
Blake Griffin
got his first dunk in the last
2 years.
Okay.
You make solid points. You make solid
That's
points.
all I'm saying. No. I'm not holding KD responsible for the loss. KD is the main reason why they got as far as they did. It was solely on KD.
Well, I hate to do this. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, my brother. I have to hold him to the same standards that I hold LeBron James. Only reason why is because many people claim that Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA. And that's the standards that I'm holding him to.
He's not the best, but he is better scoring than LeBron.
Yes, he's easily better scoring than LeBron. LeBron is the better overall player. But if LeBron James was in a Nets uniform, we would expect him to win that series. So I'm gonna have to do the same thing for Kevin Durant.
I wouldn't.
He done enough. He did everything he could do. You're absolutely right. He did everything he could do. But the problem is that it wasn't enough. And guess what? We hold that on LeBron James' record, so we're gonna have to hold it on to Kevin Durant's record. We're not gonna sit there and say this season didn't count because Kevin Durant had injured players. In 2015, LeBron James did not have a Kyrie Irving and a Kevin Love, and he took the Warriors to 6 games. Do we count that as a record on his finals? Yes or no?
It's kind of an asterisk.
I count it. So this is basically upon me. So I count that as a loss to LeBron James. So I'm doing the same thing with Kevin Durant right now. I'm counting it as a loss. Even though you did play great. LeBron James played great. But it's still a loss at the end of the day. And that's exactly what I'm going by. Wins and losses. Because nobody going to remember stats, and nobody makes your legacy great based on just stats. You also have to have wins and losses. That's what makes Michael Jordan the greatest of all time. Because not only did he have the stats, he had the wins and losses too. And there's been times where Scottie Pippen was hurt. There's been times where other role players on his team was hurt. But guess what? Michael Jordan found a way to either lead his team or dominate the ball to be able to win the game. And that's exactly what he did, which make him the greatest of all time. He had won 2 3-peats. You know how many teams ever actually 3-peated after that? 1. The LA Lakers back in 2000 to 2002. And guess what? They could have 4-peated, but they lost to the Detroit Pistons. I think in 5. I'm not sure if it was 5 or they got swept, but they got beat. They definitely got beat down. No, my bad. That was 04. 03, they lost to the Spurs. Then they tried to come back in 04, lost to the Pistons. So, sorry, KD, you had an incredible game. Now, I do not expect for you to do the same thing as LeBron. That's 2 different things. But I expect your offense to be greater than LeBron, but as great that it will actually help your team the same way LeBron assists and rebounds and scoring does overall. So I expect y'all to do the same thing. So if you do enough and you lose, I got to hold you down to it. Just like if LeBron do enough and lose, I got to hold both of y'all accountable. So it's not on you. It's not totally your fault because I don't do that to LeBron either. I just say it goes on your record because, yes, your role players have to do better. Joe Harris got to do better than that. James Harden fucked up another game 7. And trust me, he has been in plenty game 7s in which he has lost. I think he got the same amount of consecutive losses in the game 7 than Doc Rivers. Because I know he lost game 7 against Golden State. He just lost this one. I remember him losing the game 6 to my Spurs, in which we didn't have Kawhi Leonard or Tony Parker. And he only scored 12 points that game. We ended up beating him by 30. Role players had to do better, but that loss does count, Rich. I'm sorry.
Very good points. Very solid points.
All right. I think we're at the end of the show tonight.
Well, wait. We have your segment.
Oh,
Today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We do have my segment, don't we? All right.
I can have your segment?
No, I got it. You're muted. All right. Let's get started. Now, my segment for tonight is basically I want to give flowers to these coaches in the NBA. And yes, I'm definitely going to be racial on this one. I'm going to give it to black coaches as of right now. We have Nate McMillan, the head coach of the Atlanta Hawks. We have Tyronn Lue, the head coach of the LA Clippers. We have Mike Budenholzer, head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. And last but not least, we got Monty Williams, head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Those are the last 4 teams left in the NBA. And one of those teams will win an NBA championship. But guess what? 3 of those teams' head coaches are African American. And I just want to acknowledge that and give my flowers to these head coaches for doing an outstanding job, especially knowing that we do not have that many head coaches in the NBA, period. Let's see. How many head coaches are in the NBA? Besides those 3, Doc Rivers. Anybody else? I can't think of one. So, if it is one, please let me know in the comments. But all I can think of is 4, and 3 of them are in championship. Western Conference Championship, Eastern Conference Championship. Hey, that's saying a lot. So, with that being said, there are more head coaches that are African Americans that are able to do the same thing. We got a Chauncey Billups, in which the Boston Celtics are looking at. Also, the Portland Trail Blazers are looking at. We got Brian Cook. He's out there. We got a lot of head coaches that are available. And guess what? Steve Nash lost. And he could have been replaced with a black coach, but he got an opportunity, even though he's never coached a single game in his life. And guess who beat him? Another white coach who was under Greg Popovich. So that's the reason why he took his team to the conference finals. So overall, I just wanted to give a shout out to the 3 black coaches that are in the championship right now. And we are guaranteed to have 1 black coach in the NBA finals. That's all I got to say. Give my shout out to these black coaches. Now you can speak, Reggie.
All this Atlanta stuff going on right now, and you forgot to mention Lloyd Pierce.
I said Lloyd Pierce.
Okay.
But he got fired.
Maybe I missed that.
He got fired for Nate McMillan.
Okay.
Because Lloyd Pierce ain't there yet. And as great as Nate McMillan been doing, man, they better keep him. Because his contract is up after this year.
All right.
He definitely be available. He definitely will be available. All right. That's it for tonight's show. Let me hurry up and finish this before the weather end up shutting us down, because we are getting pretty bad weather conditions over here. Wednesday, we'll have topics on football, baseball, basketball, and of course, we'll have AFC. We're going to do East or West?
Let's go with the East first.
We'll do the AFC East. Wins, loss, predictions, over, under. So we'll have all that stuff going on. Well, that'll do it. Like always, we salute to you. We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Hump day. Right. Enjoy the games that's coming on tomorrow, by the way. Clippers, Suns, game 2. Who you got?
Clippers, Suns, game 2. I got Suns.
I got Clippers. All right, we'll see y'all on Wednesday.
Not to mention the Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. They are now at 6-0.
Oh, yeah, we already said 6-0, so I guess they held them down.
Well, it was 5-0, but...
No, I said 6-0 when I was taking the shot.
Okay.
You said there's no way they can come back. All right. See y'all on Wednesday, man.
All right, we out.